first want to thank Bob and his committee for putting this together and all the nominees that are up there. If you look at all those names, there's some great instructors in this section, and I'm really proud to be a member of the New Jersey PGA. I'm going to take you back a little bit here, back to the 1991 PGA at Shore Oaks. I was working for Lou Katzos at the time. And I just got into the business, and I wasn't much of a player, I wasn't much of a teacher, and I really didn't know if I wanted to stay in the golf business. But there was a playoff for that tournament, and Steve Sieg, David Glens, Jim Whedon, and Bill King were going down the first hole at Shore Oaks in the playoff. And I remember watching it and saying to myself, man, these guys are really good. I wanted to be like them, and that day really inspired me 20 years ago. And I remember Steve had a birdie putt on the first hole there, and he was on the fringe, and he putted, he made it, he won the tournament, and it just hit me. I said, you know, I really want to be a golf professional, and that was the day that kick-started my career. The first person I want to thank is Brent Studer. Brent, you might not know this, but we were playing at Greenbrook, and I hadn't passed my player's test yet. It took me a while to do it, but it was a U.S. Open qualifying, and Brent was shooting as usual, 1 or 2 under, and I had to shoot a 76 or something the last day to get my playing card, and I strung together 4 or 5 pars, and I started gagging it down the stretch, and as usual, and you know, Brent's trying to qualify for the U.S. Open, but here he is pumping me up, and he's saying, come on, you can do it. And I remember getting all nervous on 18 at Greenbrook, and I topped my tee shot, and Brent said, come on, get it up there in front of the green, and I topped another 3-wood up in front of the green, shanked a little chip up by the hole, and here's Brent rooting me on. He's saying, come on, knock it in, and I needed this putt to pass my player's test, and I made the putt, thank God. And Brent, you know, that meant so much to me. You're a great professional, and you don't know how much that meant to me, because it took me a while to pass that test. But then I moved from Shore Oaks to Cedar Hill. I met Ron Korn, and Ron is, we all know Ron, what a great golf professional, and I spent 5 years with Ron. And Ron was all golf. He was all about teaching and playing, and he encouraged me to get better. And Ron, you never know how much that meant to me, just pushing me to go forward. And he said, you know, go down to Florida and play, work on your game, you have to get better. And boy, did I need that. So who do I run into down there? Ed Osowski. You know, for 5 years, Ed Osowski's beating my brains in every day playing golf. And Ed, I don't know if you're here, but that pushed me even further to get better. And Ed is relentless. If you know Ed, he's not giving up, and he's trying to take your $10 or whatever. And I lost hundreds of dollars to that guy, but it pushed me to get better. And I wanted to be that player and that teacher. And then along the way, you meet a guy like Jerry Tucker and Mike Adams and Mike Hebron, and I educated myself, and I wanted to learn from these great teachers, and they've taught me so much. And for the young guys out there, those are 3 names you can go see, and you'll learn something about the golf swing. Those guys have been instrumental in what I do at the club. And then from Cedar Hill, I moved on to right here. I worked for Pete Famiano for 2 years, and I worked with Bob, and we all know Pete. If that guy can't inspire you, I'm sure he's inspired most of us in this room. And he inspired me to keep getting better and better, trying to improve myself as a golf professional. And I owe him so much. And then I was lucky enough to interview at Montclair. And if I'm going over, I don't care. This is my. It's hard to get up here. And at the celebration of golf dinner the other night, Andy Brock said something. He said he never gives up a chance to get in front of a microphone. And Andy, I was listening to you the other night. I don't know if anybody else was, but I heard that. So anyway, I interviewed with Mike at Montclair, and I remember the interview, and Mike said, you know, the job's yours if you want it. So I took it. And you know, for 10 years now, I've been teaching there, 11 now, sorry, and And Mike is such a great golf professional. He's given me the green light to do the things I wanted to do with the club, to teach, to introduce fitness and stuff to our juniors. And Mike, I really appreciate that. I also work with Joe Haggerty. I've been fortunate enough to spend the last 10 years with a true golf professional, somebody that comes to the club every day dedicated to being the best he can be. And Joe, I've always asked myself, how do I stay ahead of this guy? So Joe comes to work, he's pushed me to be the best I can be. We've developed a great program at Montclair, and I've enjoyed every minute. But Joe, you don't know how much that's meant to me. So it's an honor to accept this award. There's so many great teachers in this section, and I'm so proud to be a New Jersey PGA member. Looking back over my 20 years in this section, I've learned so much from everybody in this room. You all know who you are. You've always been there when I called you for help, and I appreciate all the time you've given me to develop my skills to become the person I am. There isn't any other place I'd rather be. I just appreciate it. Thank you.